We came so far from dreams. The path was hard for me. They thought we fall, you see. Well, look at us now, look at us now. We make it hot when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we. Tell me who better than we. We soaring to places you never could reach. When we walk in that spot, don't hear none of you speak. Shh, do you want peace or the peace? A king about to put you to sleep. Listen, my team is elite. You not even qualified to compete. He starving, he barely can eat. I guess that's why he always itching for beef. So I put him on ice and I told him to chill. Close your mouth if you can't pay for the meal. Making statements that you know you don't mean. Nice guy trying to act like he mean. Keep it a buck, keep it a bean. Attitudes will put you dudes in the beam. Izuku, he don't live in reality. Shake back off, become a fatality. Yeah, how you gon' hate when you mirror us? He think he a star, he ain't serious. X him out, we not on the same frequency. If you broke, you ain't hearing us. Work the screw, anime, that's how I feel, period. We winning, that's making them furious. We make it high when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we.
Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Mookie here, back with you with another new part of What If Izuku Had Monsunos. This is part 2, and thanks and the like for the support that you did with this What If. Honestly, I was kind of worried that it wasn't going to get a lot of views as I was hoping. Like, I really need the viewership and the like counts right now for this channel. And just in case, like I said, I'll be making some more and more new what ifs I was originally going to put on hold for a while until now. So yeah. Any rate, let's go with that of a quick recap. In the last part, we went on that of Izuku's past in this timeline, as everything basically goes the same as always. Him being considered quirkless, him being bullied, him being looked down upon, him being attacked by the sledge villain, him being saved by All Might, and him asking the same questions as before about if he can become a hero without a quirk, with even All Might telling him that he can't. However, unlike that of the original timeline, All Might still has the sledge villain on him instead of him dropping it mid-flight. Well, mid-jump, actually, when Izuku grabbed onto him instead. So, yeah, no explosions and basically Bakugo not being captured by the sledge villain, where Izuku would basically step in. But in this, Hisashi Midoriya, Izuku's estranged father that we still haven't seen fully, and that of MHA, is basically a scientist, studying that of a unique energy source that's been with the planet from the very beginning, known as Monsuno essence. The very thing he's been studying and is the lifeblood of his career as a scientist. Not only that, he's found a way to manipulate the Monsuno essence into things known as cores, as Izuku was entrusted with the cores from that of his father. Not only that, Izuku has some kind of connection to the Monsuno essence as well. Now, and before he could ponder all of this, he was soon caught up in that of a villain attack, due to villains trying to take that of the bus that he was riding back to Masafu hostage. However, Izuku, as that of the noble and just person that he is, basically couldn't help but stead by as people being threatened, especially a certain girl, that being Hatsune, of course. However, doing so, he ended up using that of one of the cores to unleash that of a monster that looked like that of a polar bear. And now the villains have no idea what they've gotten themselves into. So, with all that said, let's get into this. Shall we, guys? A few months have now gone by since, well, that little incident back on the highway, with now Izuku is basically, well, at that of Dagobah Beach. Once a prestigious and beautiful, beach park that anybody could go to basically just enjoy that of the scenery and go for a swim and many other things. However, due to that of garbage washing up on the shore, which soon led to other people illegally dumping their garbage at the place too, becoming that of a junkyard. However, right now, the beach is now being full of junk, is now being currently destroyed, as tons of smashing, crashing, and even that a blast of light, of blue light, begins to consume all of the junk. As this being, Izuku, and that giant polar bear monster as well. Within, Izuku can help but smile, and that's of excitement and also happiness as well, as this is saying, "Nice work, Locke. That is amazing." Within, the monster that he calls Locke basically roars, and that's of acknowledgement from that of his controller. Within, soon, somebody popping up behind that of Izuku saying, "Hey!" Within, Izuku basically jumping back saying, "Ah, Hatsune!" Saying, as it being the same pink dreadlock wearing haired girl as before. However, instead of wearing a more modest clothing, she's now just wearing that of a black tank top, suspenders tied around that of her waist, with that, and that of work boots, as she also having that of, well, yellow goggles on her head too. Within, she basically pouting, saying, "Why are you destroying all of this amazing stuff? This stuff would be useful when I basically make my babies." Saying, "Sorry, Hatsune, I really am. But I'm trying my best to clean up this beach after all. I mean, it's the best place on where I'm able to test out Locke's abilities without, well, anybody coming around to attack us, since the beach is normally always filled with junk and barely any people in the public or even heroes take this as a patrol route. So I thought I could just..." Within, Izuku was about to go on a muttering spree. Within, soon, Hatsune saying, "I get it, I get ya. I totally understand. You wanted to test out this big guy's capabilities, but at least not destroy all the useful stuff." Within, soon, Izuku saying, "Okay, if you like, you could basically find what you need and look around. Me and Locke can just sit back and basically wait. Just don't take too long. There's a time limit for how much I can have Locke out after all." Within, Locke also basically looking at Hatsune, not growling or basically yelling, but giving off that of a look of, "Don't take too damn long. Don't worry, Greenie, I got this." Within saying, "I wish she would remember my name better." Within, as Izuku sits down alongside that of Locke, as he basically makes things shake for a bit, given how much he just plopped down. As even had that of Izuku in the air for a good few seconds of hang time before landing back down on the sandy beach. Within, Izuku couldn't help but laugh to himself for a bit. As this, he never expected that his life would turn like this, about that of 2 months ago. Speaking of those 2 months, back with that hostage situation, with that of the 4 villains, basically trying to extort that of the passengers of that charter bus that Izuku was on. He was getting ready to fight alongside him and Locke against the villains. Within, the telekinetic villain, known as that of Quake Wave. Within, she's saying, "What the hell is that? I've never seen a quirk that can basically just bring out giant monsters." Within, the one with that of an electrifying quirk couldn't help but say, "It's probably just an illusion. It's not real. No real quirk could basically create a giant monster. Just aim for the brat." Within, as he was about to send that of a jolt of electricity straight for Izuku. Within, Izuku flinching. Before then, Locke defends himself from the attack. Within, soon, Izuku completely and utterly shocked that the giant polar bear protected him. Within, saying, "Whoa, did you?" Within, soon, the fire-based villain, as he couldn't help but say, "That thing is definitely real. What the hell? This is supposed to be an easy job. Civilians don't use their quirks so often." Within, sending that of a burst of fire. Within, Locke seeing this, as soon he also sends that of his own energy-like blast, as it being that of a wave of blue-like energy from that of the crystals on his body. Within, soon those waves hit that of the flames and hit straight at that of the fiery villain. Within, the female villain with that of the rock-like, geoquirk, coating that of her arms, can't help but say, "Matchstick! Damn it! What the hell?" What kind of quirk, what kind of brat has a quirk like that? Seriously. Even with powerful quirks like this, that no damn brat would use their quirk in public like this. Not to mention, he doesn't even look like he has he has that of a damn spine. Besides that time, he just hit that a psi wave with then soon the electrifying quirk user basically charges up his body saying, doesn't matter, just as long as we kill the kid, that damn monster would get away. I'll get within him internally thinking, as long as I can get close and right in, all that matters is taking down the kid, and that monster is all as good as gone. Within, as he tries to get closer and closer to Izuku, within soon a bright blue light begins to engulf that of Locke, as he's already tracking that of the electrification villain. Within soon, his paw begins to glow in that of a bright white light. Within, he begins to slam it to the ground, the same time as that of the electrification villain was about to come right next to Izuku, basically face planting him on that of the road. Within, him couldn't help but completely and utterly passed out from that of the force alone. Within, she's saying, no, this can't be held, even that of Jolt too? Within, she's saying, and my quirk isn't enough for this shit. Just because I can basically make my arm, I can become at least slightly stronger with my rocked arms, doesn't mean I can take on whatever the hell this thing is. Within, soon, Locke basically looking at her as he growls, showing that of his sharp teeth. Within, she's saying, screw this, I'm out. No way in hell I'm basically fighting a giant polar bear monster. I thought those damn things were extinct of all things. As soon she begins to run as fast as she can away from that of Locke. However, Locke not allowing this. Within, soon, his arms begin to basically glow as well, before then slamming them to the ground, sending that of a powerful a sharp wave of blades of energy straight towards that of the running villainess. Within, soon, she gets caught up in that of the waves, cutting up that of her uniform as blood begins to spill over, as she soon bleeds from that of her injuries and passes out as well. Not dead, but at least not enough to basically get back up. Within, soon, Izuku seeing is saying, whoa, that's intense. What? As Izuku is completely, utterly dumbfounded and shocked about all of this. Within, soon, the psychokinetic villainess, Sidewave, couldn't help but say, this is bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Damn you, you brat. How could you turn a good score like this into basically us failing? It's ridiculous. How is somebody like you with a powerful quirk able to do this shit? Within, saying, but I'm quirkless though. Saying, bullshit. Then what the hell you call that thing? As Locke basically growls at her, within, she completely and utterly terrified, as throughout this entire time she's been trying to use that of her psychokinetic quirk to basically lift Locke and basically flow him over that of the edge of the cliffside into the water. However, no matter what she tries, he's too big and too heavy to even do so, making her quirk completely and utterly useless in this situation. Within, she begins to hear that of rumbling and even that of something coming this way. As then, a few pros actually show up in the area, as this being that of a few pros from Masafu and even some pros nearby that were actually quite nearby that got the message from that of Izuku's saddle police message. As surprisingly, the pros that show up was actually Best Genius, Mount Lady, Kamui Woods, and Eel Boy, as Kamui Woods basically goes right through that of the massive rock debris blocking the roads with that of his special made car, actually. Allowing him to also use his quirk is through that of his car as well. Within, knocking back many of the rocks and debris to make an opening for him. Within, soon rolling down his window saying, I hope that we arrive in the nick of time. Seeing that of the blonde-haired and, well, Jean costume wearing fifth rank pro of the bit of that of Japan, with even a few of that at the top of that of up and comers such as that of Mount Lady and Kamui. With then Eel Boy actually getting out of, well, Best Genius's car saying, I don't think I'm going to get used to basically drive the way you drive, Genius. With then shaking his head saying, is everybody okay? With then a few well, civilians that were basically trying to keep their distance and get away from everything speak up, saying that they're all right. With then soon Mount Lady looks down, seeing that of Locke, with then saying, what the hell is that thing? With then soon Locke couldn't help but growl at the loud shout of Mount Lady. Within soon, Kamui Woods, alongside that of Best Genius, were about to get in battle alongside Eel Boy as well. Within soon, Izuku stepping in front of them, saying, wait, no, stop! He's not going to hurt anybody, he helped us! Within soon, all the pros are completely shocked and surprised what Izuku said, and even what he's doing. Within soon, Best Genius saying, young man, are you sure that thing is protecting you? It could be some new species of quirked animals. You must stay within. Soon, one of the civilians saying, no, that thing came out and helped us from a blue light. I believe it's that boy's quirk. He saved us. Within, soon, everybody, all the pros saying, wait, what? Within, Mount Lady saying, you're kidding. That giant monster, that whatever the hell that thing is his quirk? Within, Kamui Wood saying, unbelievable. I've seen my fair share of quirks as a pro, and even when I was studying as a hero, but this takes the cake. Within, Izuku saying, wait, no, it's not what you think. I'm within. Soon, the pink dreadlocks wearing girl, otherwise known as Hatsu, basically runs towards him saying, you saved me! You're so cool and awesome! Saying, well, before you brought up whatever the heck this thing is, you basically protected me when you didn't put yourself in the harm's way to save me. You didn't really need to do that, but if anything, I'm really grateful. Thanks a lot, green hair. Saying, my name is... Cutting him off, she introduces herself as her in mid introduction of him, saying, my name is Mei Hatsune, future support genius extraordinaire. And honestly, definitely with a quirk like this, an ability like this, you're definitely going to make that of one hell of a pro. You had to make me your support inventor. I would love to basically learn what you're capable of. With Izuku having that of a girl that's way close to him, and I mean, it's weird for a girl to even be this close to him, which is causing him to be quite frantic, and his face going completely and utterly red. Within, soon, Best Genius getting out of his car, within, basically using a comb to fix his hair, saying, I think it's best that we understand what's truly happening here. Within, soon, the last villainess who saw all of this is basically just gone down to the ground on her knees and saying, I'm done. Screw this job. I'm so done. Where she basically goes down to her knees. Within, the Eel Boy alongside that of Kamui Woods basically puts her and her other knocked out accomplices in that of handcuffs and bound together as well. With many of the civilians thanking the pros for showing up when they did, after all, even though Izuku did all the work, or rather Locke did all the work. With them, as Locke is basically still out, come on, what do I do to basically put you back in? As he's basically holding that of the Quartet core in his hands, with then, as it looks like that of a meteor basically going down. With then, soon, Mount Lady basically going to that of Izuku saying, hey kid, you think you could, saying, Mount Lady, sorry, saying, seriously, why the hell are you all so jumpy, for God's sake? Could you do something about this thing? It's really starting to make me feel uncomfortable. But then, Locke basically growling at her, but then she flinches for a bit saying, see? with then saying, I'm trying, I just don't. With then soon, as he basically has that of the core in his right hand, basically flinged over that of his shoulder, with then soon, and that of a bright light, it lock basically turns into that of motes of light, blue lights. Within going straight back into that of the core. Within, Izuku felt like that of a kickback as he basically spins around in that of disorientation before catching his, self back on the ground, completely and utterly shocked. Within saying, whoa, well, that happened. As a few of the pros were also still shocked. Within, they begin to congratulate that of Izuku for he done, mainly that of Mount Lady and also Eel Boy. However, Kamui Woods alongside Best Genius demolished his actions for basically stepping in and doing vigilantism as he could be arrested. But given that this was an intense situation, it only makes sense that he had to basically use his quirk, given how long it would take them to show up, which just basically puts that of Izuku on that of a slap of the wrist, which now, having that, with that of the next few hours or so, another bus came by to take that of Izuku and the rest of the other, passengers back to that of Masafu after all. With now Izuku truly needs answers on what the hell that was, what Locke was after all. With then Izuku arriving back home, with then Inko saying, Izuku, oh my god, where were you? What took you so long? Saying, you see, as Izuku was about to explain that he was in that of villain attack, and also explain about that of what came out of one of Dad's inventions, before then saying, let's just say traffic was pretty crazy heading back here. That's all. So we had to basically take a different bus. With then, she's saying, oh, I see. Well, at least you could have done was basically call me and tell me that you were going to be late. I was so worried. But then he's saying, sorry. Izuku heads back into his room before putting that of the white blue light cores on his bed alongside that of the case. Within, pulling also something from that of his bag, as it being that of a hollow disc. Within, Izuku opening it up, within wondering, alright Dad, what did you have to say? As soon, the hologram soon appears over that of his room. As then, in that of the camera, adjusting it a bit, being Hasashi Midori saying, hello, if you're seeing this, then you have to be somebody that I trust, or somebody that I believe can know the truth of this. But if you're my son Izuku, then I wish to finally tell you everything about my life's work, and also about your quirk as well. Within, Izuku blinking, saying, wait, my quirk? But I'm quirkless. Within, saying, if you're Izuku, my precious son, my baby boy, then you're probably wondering your quirk. But the fact is that you aren't quirkless. You do have a quirk. It's a quirk that's tied to that of the very thing that channels right through that of our planet. It's the thing known as Monsuno essence. Saying, you said something about that at your lab. What is truly Monsuno essence? Saying that it's been around since that of the dinosaurs. Saying, if you talk to me, or if I never got the chance to tell you this, Monsuno essence was basically around since the very birth of the planet Earth itself. You could say it's possibly the even very lifeblood of the planet more than that of the Earth's core itself. The essence of Monsuno essence is basically the very DNA of every living being on this planet, from that of the animals, insects, minerals, metals, and many other things as well. That is the Monsuno essence. It connects every living thing together, and your quirk basically allows you to manipulate the Monsuno essence. Izuku saying, I'm able to manipulate Monsuno essence? The reason you may not know this is because at the age of 3, remember I took you on an archaeological dig with me and my team many years back. Do you remember it? Within, Izuku basically looking down, saying, I only remember bits and pieces of that dig. I don't fully remember everything. I remember us arriving there, and then soon everything just went dark and blacking out. Then I just arrived back at Dad's lab, and soon after, I just went back home with Mom. Since then, nothing like that has happened again. But then, his father continues saying, you probably don't remember it, but I do. I remember it vividly. As Hisashi goes into that of details, with him visualizing it and to his memories, arriving in that of an archaeological dig, right nearing in the outskirts of around the mountains of Oshu. They were able to find that of many dinosaur bones and bones of extinct animals at one site back then. It was a scientific discovery of the lifetime. Even though in this day and age, quirks are basically what people truly care about the most, and even what top 10 pro hero has reached the leaderboards. Even to this day, scientists still basically one of the biggest things that fascinates and makes humanity curious, which then soon led to that of Izuku and Hisashi, alongside that of their team, having that basically coming to that of the site, with Hisashi saying, now Izuku, remember to stay close. Don't go too far from me. Saying, okay, Dad. As Izuku basically getting excited seeing this. Within soon, a bald man with that of a goatee, with that of light caramel tan skin, wearing that of a lab coat, alongside that of Hisashi, couldn't help but say, I can't believe you decided to bring your boy here. Hisashi saying, come on, Emil. I barely get time with that of my family, and having time to spend with Izuku here at this site is a perfect way to show him what we do. Within saying, as long as he doesn't get anywhere near the site on where we found the Monsuno essence, I'll be fine. Now, you excuse me and my team will need to get to work. Within, soon, a group of scientists following that of the man known as Emil Eclipse. Within, soon, Hisashi can help but scratch the back of his head saying, man, that man really needs to take things less serious. As Hisashi begins to give that of his team orders, while he's also trying to keep an eye on that of Izuku. While Izuku's basically running around, enjoying that of the sights, many people digging up that of dinosaur bones, and even that of ancient animal bones, he couldn't help but be awe and shocked, as they may not be heroes in his eyes, but they're still somewhat cool. Given that he's a 3-year-old, of course, anything in his eyes would seem cool. As then, soon, Izuku basically began to hear something calling to him, answering him, wanting to listen. As then, Izuku getting closer and closer to that of the sound beckoning him to basically connect with them. Within, he begins to see that of a small hole, as it being pretty damn small that barely anybody could basically see. As then Izuku going down saying, hello? Is somebody down there? Do you need help? Within, the voices continue getting louder, saying that they need help, that they need somebody to set them free, to hear their voice, their call. Within, saying, don't worry, I'll help you. I'll do what a hero like All Might does, save people. Within, soon, without warning, his hands begin to glow, as then soon the light inside the small hole begins to get bigger and bigger. As then soon the man known as Dr. Eclipse could up and say, what the Monsuno spike readings, they're getting bigger. And within soon noticing that of Izuku saying, what the hell are you doing, you damn brat? Within, Hisashi saying, Izuku! Within, without warning, the bright light, that of a bright green light, begins to wrap around that of the iris of his eyes. Within, Izuku begins to feel something. Connection. Feels like that of the earth, basically calling out to him. Or rather, something calling out to him. showing him visions of the earth, animals living and passing on, to with more and more animals being created, metals and gemstones basically being unearthed be, while also being formed in the earth's core and crust. With it, as Izuku seeing this influx, as he could hear each and every one of those things speaking to him, listening to him, connecting to him. Before then, Hasashi basically pulls Izuku away, causing Izuku and the link between him and the Monsuno essence to basically be cut, forcing Izuku to pass out from the influx of memory connection. With then basically going slimp, saying, Izuku, hey, hang on there. As Hasashi basically runs away, as Eclipse basically goes past him with that of his team, feeling the connection, saying, damn it, where the hell did it go? It was just here. With then looking back at Hasashi and Izuku in his hands, saying, that damn brat. He had some kind of reason behind the Monsuno essence connecting. Now that connection is gone. What the hell did he do? Heading into that their mobile lab, within soon, Hasashi, alongside that of a few of his assistants, help him diagnose that of Izuku. As seeing that he just passed out a little bit, just a bit of a mind strain, within one of his assistants saying, sir, have you tested your son Izuku? Saying, no, not really. Normally, kids get their quirks around that of 4 to 5 years old. So I kind of figured that me and my wife would test him by that time. With then saying, I see, but you do know that it's possible for quirks to awaken even earlier than that. The earliest is normally 2 or 3. But then saying, what are you saying? We diagnosed your son a little while ago while we were running tests on him to see if there was anything negative that happened to him. Turns out, your son has an emitter-type quirk. On the surface, it doesn't seem like it's much or can't really do anything. But after a little bit of more testing and the spiking of Monsuno essence basically rising in the area, we've come to realize your son has a connection to Monsuno essence. Or rather, his quirk is able to manipulate Monsuno essence. Within hearing that, Hasashi saying, you're joking. As assistant saying, no sir. We've basically diagnosed your son multiple times with his quirk, and we've even tested to see what happens when his quirk came in contact with the Monsuno essence that we brought here, to hoping that we could be able to draw out the essence. And every time when we bring his blood over to it, the Monsuno essence reacts into a bright light, begins to glow like it's basically both reacting to one another. Within hearing that, saying, Izuku, your quirk is the very key to my research, but within basically shoving the piece of his bangs from his hair from that of his eyes as his son sleeps without a care in the world, saying, even with a quirk like this, he always wanted to be a hero. More than anything, he idolizes All Might to basically the point that he can't think of anything but All Might at a kid his age. It's understandable, but as a father, you can't help but be a little bit jealous of your son basically idolizing another man over you, right? With then his assistant saying, sir, all I want is Izuku to be happy. And me dragging him along to basically and him reacting to my research is basically taking away his childhood. And to be honest, with a quirk like this, who knows what they would do, especially Storm. They've been getting a lot more powerful as time goes on. The government really doesn't want Monsuno essence to get into the wrong hands. So they're even trying to start having that of a monopoly and even banning anybody else manipulating it outside of the government. Within soon, Hasashi making a decision saying, after this, I'm going to need to use my influence and to basically manipulate a lot of doctors, quirk doctors mainly, to diagnose my son wrong as quirkless. Within, one of his other assistants saying, but but Professor, isn't that a bit, well, extreme? You know what happens to those who are diagnosed quirkless? Saying, I know, but it's better than, and I know Izuku's life is going to be hell. More than anything, I'm aware. And he has all right to hate me if he finds the truth. And he deserves to. But I care more about his safety and him having a normal life outside of him just being nothing but an experiment. And even him being used as a tool by Storm or anybody else studying Monsuno essence. He deserves at least that much at least. Within soon, Masashi saying, any rate, did we able to record that of the spike of the essence when Izuku was around? Within, one of them saying, we were able to record it. We couldn't get any samples, but the way that they're reacting. As long as we stay in this area, it could happen again. But maybe saying, doesn't matter. Let's help out the archaeological team that was built and that was getting the dinosaur bones. For the meantime, let's hope that we can find another jolt of Monsuno essence in the area. If not, then we'll head back to the lab. Do I make myself clear? Within, all of them saying, yes, sir. However, unaware that Eclipse was listening in outside of the mobile lab, and couldn't help but laugh, saying, Hasashi, your boy is quite something. To think that the brat has a quirk that is able to manipulate Monsuno essence. Maybe the brat wasn't a problem after all, but a solution. As soon, the man putting his hands in his coat pocket, walking away, thinking on what to do next. After that, soon, Hasashi getting out of his reminisce before fully explaining once again, saying, after that day, once you turned 4 years old, I made sure that every doctor in Masafu would basically diagnose you quirkless. Except one doctor who, honestly, every time I'm around the guy really pissed me the hell off. He always gave off this comforting feeling, but every time I was around him, my skin crawled as well. So I made sure to keep you and Inko away from him as much as possible. Other than that, I know your life has been quite hellish after all. You've been through so much, Izuku. So much pain and misery. All because of my decision of wanting to keep you safe and give you at least somewhat of a normal childhood. I gave you at least half of that. But it also caused you to be an outcast among your own peers. I'm not asking you to forgive me, but I am asking you to understand what I wanted to do to make sure that you were at least somewhat happy. But then, Izuku basically began crying and tearing, as all of his suffering was all because of his dad. Part of him hated it, part of him despised it, and part of him was basically angry that his dad did all of this just so he could protect him. And because of that anger and sadness and hatred towards his father all disappeared, all because he can totally understand what he was doing was the right thing. Even though it led to him almost nearly ending his life 5 months ago, it still led to him basically trying to achieve his dream and his goal of wanting to be a hero. But then, soon, Hasashi continued saying, besides all that, I was able to finally fulfill my experiments by able to manipulate Monsuno essence, crystallize it, and basically adding that of many DNAs from that of animals, minerals, and gemstones all across the earth, and putting them into even that of extinct animals as well, and creating that of Monsunos. What then? Izuku saying Monsunos, like just short for Monsuno essence? Saying, you're probably thinking that it's just short for Monsuno essence. But the Monsuno are basically creatures crystallizing Monsuno essence and giving them living, breathing forms. This Monsuno, inside of this spin core, is known as Lock. with then saying, Locke, is then saying, I know it sounds pretty stupid and for a pretty epic creature like this, but Locke is simple. To me, Locke is the key was the first official Monsuno I created. After that, I created that of several other Monsunos and put them in that of core crystals. In this case, in this safe right here lies that of 5 Monsunos. I've basically I entrust the ones that I believe are the keys to core tech industries. I've already loaded up even that of several other cores as well. Once you can put Monsuno essence inside, after that, all you need to do is just spin them out and see. With then, Izuku saying, wow, that's just, wow. With then, Hasashi saying, if you are Izuku, then you're probably just going wow about all the craziness. And other things, you need to be prepared for other stuff as well. In the past couple of years, as I've been developing the Monsunos, spin cores, and even developing that of my core tech industries through that of multiple labs throughout the country and throughout the world as well, other organizations began to build up as well, such as that of Storm. It's actually a top secret government organization that keeps an eye on Monsuno essence. And since it's top secret, of course, the public doesn't know anything about it. A few of our scientists from Cortec Industries decided to work with Storm, actually. A lot of good friends I used to know turned my back on me and decided to work with the government to regulate and control Monsuno essence. But that's the thing, Monsuno essence can't be controlled. It can only be understood and channeled. If you try and control that of a force that has been on this planet from the very beginning of Earth's creation, then all you're doing is basically setting up the world for destruction. I tried to tell those fools that, but unfortunately, easier said than done. Even one of my old colleagues who even believed that Monsuno essence can be fully controlled and manipulated to suit his own means was also consumed by his own greed and wants for power. Well, other than that, I haven't seen him since. But now, to those who I believe I trust with my Cortec cores, to be trust with my dreams and my hopes for the world, this is the first step to a whole new world. A whole new world where Monsuno and humanity truly understand. And Izuku, my son, my precious boy, you are the key to that, alongside Locke. If anybody hears this, please keep my family safe, keep my son and wife safe, and do whatever you can to protect this world. This is Hasashi Midoriya, signing out. Within, the recording ends as the hologram soon goes back into the disc. Within, Izuku saying, you entrusted so much to me, Dad. You entrusted so much, and hid so much as well. Within, looking at that of the empty cores, and also looking back at the small case with that of the 5 other Cortec cores, all filled with that of Monsunos of their own, saying, don't worry, I'll put them in good use, no matter what. After that, Izuku began trying to figure out Monsuno essence, especially that of his own quirk Monsuno essence. He wanted to change his quirk registry to basically having a quirk, but probably wait until that of the entrance exam to do so. If he basically just, changed his registry to that of a quirked individual without warning, it just leaves a lot of suspicions. And given that there are so many mysterious people probably wanting after him, trying to manipulate Monsuno essence, just makes things a lot more harder for him too. But for the time being, all he can do is basically help out that of Locke and understand his new Monsuno partner. Finding out that the Monsuno, to able to launch them, he has to spin them, or rather flick them out. They basically move quite damn fast once spun out, actually. They had to reach that of a certain velocity to unleash that of a Monsuno. After that, the core goes straight back into that of Izuku's hands, creating that of a control spear, allowing Izuku to talk and give commands to that of Locke. Locke has basically several abilities, and finding out that Locke has more defensive and more offensive abilities. Locke is able to amplify his physical strength and power using that of Monsuno essence in his body, create that of various shields and barriers to defend himself and others around him too, while also having that of several energy-like beam attacks as well. Izuku's favorite one that he prefers giving that he uses for Locke being that of the Jaw of Light. The best place to practice this was at that of Dagobah Beach, basically the same place where he's currently at now. About doing this, he ended up meeting a few unique people though, that being Hatsune, as she always came to that of Dagobah Beach to basically take that of junk and to help her fix up that of her babies or her support gears as she calls them. And she plans on applying for that of UA High for the support course. However, Izuku still needed to test out Locke's abilities, so both Hatsune and Izuku decided to compromise. She would basically come by here a few times a day and try and get as many things as she can before Izuku shows up. Every time when they show up together though, Hatsune basically goes into her own little pile that she doesn't need scrap for, and basically, while Izuku goes into his own little pile to help Locke basically use his abilities. Plus, there's also the other Monsunos though. Those are he would want to use those Monsunos, but he wants to entrust the other four to people that he can fully trust. He was thinking about giving one to Bakugo, but not a chance in hell. Even though Izuku still wants to thinks of him as a symbol of victory, the hero that he grew up with, somebody he knew that was going to be a great hero growing up as a kid, their friendship for each other is completely and utterly gone. He can't trust Bakugo with that of one of his dad's greatest creations after all. So deciding to just trust him to somebody else that he believes in. However, little did he know, he was actually slowly starting to, get to know that of May actually. She was even though she has her eccentricities, she barely remembers his name, she always did try to, help him out from time to time. Even wanted to understand what the spin cores were that Izuku was using to control that of Locke. With even to the point that she even started to wanting to basically know what his quirk truly was like so she can make support gears to help around it, given that it has to revolve around Locke after all. After that, the two kind of gotten close, even though they even exchanged numbers together. Let's just say when Izuku got the number of a girl on his phone, it really made his day and really made him fluster as hell. Hatsune, on the other hand, didn't even care that much. Well, so she thought. Let's just say she also doesn't have that many friends as well, given her support gear tends to explode. And let's just say she was happy that she actually has an actual future contact and possibly friend as well. Since then, the two have gotten pretty close with one another, even to the point that Hatsune doesn't just see Izuku as that of a future client, but actually like that of a real life friend. Even Izuku begins to see her like that of a great friend too, causing them to become pretty close with one another, leading to their very, explanation right now. With then, soon, Izuku, alongside that of Locke, are still waiting, as then seeing that of the energy basically going down for that of Locke, realizing, we should probably try this again another time. Get some rest up, buddy. Return. Pointing that of the core back to that of Locke, as he soon turns into that of motes of blue lights, consuming into that of the core crystal, with that of the recoil bringing back his arm to his shoulder. Within realizing, man, I really got to get used to that. Within soon standing back up, saying, "Hey, Hatsune, if you're going, you think I could just wait near that of the edge of the beach after all? Since it's going to be a while until you're done. To be honest, saying, "Oh, sure, go ahead, Greenie, I'll wait." As Izuku heads straight for that of the road leading to out of the beach, within soon noticing that of a certain somebody as it being that of a tall man with that of blonde hair and that of a short and that of a buzz cut actually, as he also has that of tan skin, wearing that of a somewhat black militaristic uniform. With then soon Izuku saying, "Wait, I know him, don't I?" With then soon the man and that leaning over that of a car couldn't help but look back, saying, "Ah, there you are, Izuku." Saying, "Wait, he knows me?" With then soon as the man getting closer with Izuku basically on guard, as he still has that of Locke's core crystal in that of his pocket, with then saying, "I guess it has been a while since you last seen me." It's been with then saying, "I've met you." Then saying, I used to work with your father. Don't you remember me? I'm with then saying, "Oh, Mr. Ace." With then saying, "Now you remember me." As this man being that of John Ace, a man that used to work with Izuku's father Hisashi back at Cortec Labs as a security guard actually. It's been a long time, sir. I didn't think that I would. Saying, same here. I actually went to go and meet with your mother a little while ago. She told me that you come out here to train, it seems. She told me that you're getting ready for the UA entrance exam. I'm a little worried since saying, "Don't worry, I'm okay. You don't need to worry." With then saying, "I see. I tried going for that of UA once as well during my younger years. Let's just say I didn't make the cut, so I was forced to go to that of a different, hero school. Let's just say making it as a hero wasn't a big deal for me, so I decided to join that of the United Military Forces instead." Saying, "I heard, I really did. Are you saying doing good actually?" After leaving Cortec Labs, I made the rank of commander, started leading my own squad as well. Saying, "That's great, sir." With then saying, "Thank you. I had some time off and I wanted to see how you're doing." Saying, "Doing great. I'm actually cleaning up the beach, to be honest." Saying, "I see. Last time I was here, this place was basically a dump. Now I can actually see that there's actually a few openings here and there. If you keep this up, you might clean up the beach enough to where a few pros can actually do this, or those who are actually meant to take care of it." Saying, "I hope so, sir. I really do." Within, Izuku saying, "Don't worry. Like I said, I just came to see the family of an old friend. I hear that life isn't going well for that of Hisashi and Cortec Labs. Hear that they'll be shutting down in a couple of months or so. Yeah, at least that of 3 months. By that time, I'll be ready to take on that of the UA entrance exam." Saying, "You and your mom going to do great. I mean, your father was the one person providing for you. If you guys need any help, I can." Mr. Ace. Or should I say Commander Ace? Saying, "Just Ace is fine, Izuku." With then saying, "Well, I think we'll be fine. Dad has basically years of, achievement under his belt, having that of multiple doctorates out under as well. So I think we'll be fine. And besides, Mom could get that of a job as well. She did work as that of a nurse before having me, so I think she'd be good." With then saying, "If you say so, just let you know you can always rely on us. We'll have your back. I'll have your back." Within pulling out that of a small card out of his, chest pocket, saying, "This has my own personal number on it. Give it a call when you can. I'm always willing to listen." Saying, "Thank you, sir. I'll make sure to put in my number." With that, John saying, "Have a good day, Izuku. If you need a ride back, don't worry, I'm here with a friend. Just waiting for her to finish, that's all." Saying, "A friend, you say? It's not Kachan, actually. We haven't spoken with each other in a long time." Saying, I see. Well then, take care. Ace walks away, getting into that of his car, starting it up, and then leaving that of the illegal landfill beach. Within, he's saying, Mr. John Ace. To think that it's been this long since I've last seen him. I nearly forgot about the man. He's really nice. But honestly, why would he leave Cortec Labs? It makes no sense. As Izuku thinks this, with that of John Ace, within him getting out of a call from that of a mature woman saying, did you give him your card? Commander Ace saying, I did, ma'am. But you don't need to basically keep an eye on Izuku. He knows nothing of this. Plus, he's a quirkless kid. I think he's been through enough saying, please, Commander, he's the best league we have to that of his father. Once Cortec Labs goes under, he'll be on the run. And we all know he will be. The best we can basically keep an eye on him, of somebody of his talents, the better. Storm needs people like that of Professor Hasashi Midoriya. I figured somebody like you would want to keep an eye on your old friend. Within, soon, John saying, yes, it's right, ma'am. Understood. Then, when the boy basically calls you, if anything, you do what you can to find out about his father. Do I make myself clear, Commander? Saying, crystal clear, ma'am. After that, he hangs up saying, sorry about this, Izuku. As then soon, John drives away, with then leaving behind that's a feeling he has betrayed his friends, family. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. So, how did you guys like this? Did you guys like the fact about, well, how Izuku is getting along with that of Locke and how he's becoming quick friends with that of Hatsune? Like I said, Mei is basically going to be part of Izuku's Team Cortec, and I'm still creating polls for those who I believe would be great fits for Izuku's team. Basically, here are the people that are part of it that I believe should be from that of those from one person from Class 1A, another person from that of Class 1B, and one person being that of a pro hero, actually. I want this Team Cortec to be more versatile than just being a bunch of teens around the same age after all. So yeah, anyways, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to get to date my videos on upload the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, gaming channel, other channel, side channel, Patreon, and Cash App. All link in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Yamuki, signing out. Later, guys, and hope you all take care. Finish it off, Shiro.
Hi, everyone. This is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!